whole team. And how do you project that for next week when you have even more time?
Yeah, we spoke about that this morning, and I'm traveling right now, so I apologize if I do lose you. I'll call right back in. Um, but we're going to talk about that. We talked about this morning as a staff how we want to handle the new rule with gaining 4 more hours a week, and just trying to make sure that we're not. What we don't want to do is hold these kids to the fire when there's not stuff that we can be teaching at that point. There's if you get 4 hours a week, we as coaches we've gone through it, and Golden said he's reteaching, and we're doing the same thing offensively. We want to make sure that if we are using all that 8 hours, that we're not just holding the kids' feet to the fire. We're actually being able to teach and use that, and when it's done, it's done. So there's so many different ways to skin a cat at this point. Obviously, like Coach said, there's no handbook to how you handle certain times like this. Once again, I'm going to say the same thing as Barry said, but Coach Pittman has been unbelievable as a leader, providing us with the details on a day-to-day basis of what we want to get done and have a plan to go out and execute it. And it's been good. Everybody is on the same page. This is a new job and a new journey for all of us, and we feel very blessed to be able to represent the Hogs. And nobody loves this program more than Coach Pittman, and he's got a staff that respects him. So we're doing everything we can to help him be successful, help Arkansas be successful, so the people in this state can be very proud of this football program. And our kids are doing the same. They're working out. We're not able to get video footage of what they're actually physically doing, but they're working out. They're talking to our strength staff, and what we're doing offensively is we're also having quizzes. So we meet with those guys all week. Then there's quizzes that open up that they can go into an app. They take those, we get that information, and then we go back over that information with the players the next day. So it's kind of like Barry said, we're teaching, and then we give assignments, and we grade it.
Okay. Well, Kendall, how comfortable?
Welcome in, welcome in. It's our Monday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, and we're going to get this week started off absolutely on fire. We let you hear audio from our Friday teleconference with offensive coordinator, quarterback coach Kendall Browse, and defensive coordinator Barry Odom. You'll hear that throughout the show, but we have a really, really special show at the 1:15 hour. We're going to make our way out to Marietta, California, Vista Marietta High School, where we're going to catch up with 2022 tight end prospect Jack Peterson. He's a major Arkansas prospect in the 2022 class. Had his offer extended by John Cooper, the tight ends coach here at Arkansas. So we're going to catch up with JP and find out just his feelings on Arkansas and how things are going so early in his recruiting process. And then just maybe we may have a special guest. A decision was made today, and Arkansas was a part of it. Had the decision, been in their favor, but we may have a special guest. Won't tell you who it is yet. We'll just make it aware. It's going to be a surprise today, Demetrius. I'm in the mood for surprises. And then we're going to continue on with the Hall Guy segment as we're going to make our way down to Morrilton, Arkansas, where we're going to catch up with a guy that's repping the ARK in 2022. Combo guard forward Joseph Pinion of Morrilton High School just received his University of Arkansas offer from Eric Musselman and staff. We're going to talk to Joe. It's been a big week for the Arkansas native. As I said, he's repped really well for the state in high school basketball. But now the time has come. We're just momentarily away from getting my business partner and my co-host, producer involved. The questions today is Arkansas has officially signed 5 of the 6 young men that were expected to sign on the dotted line, with KK Robinson set to sign today at any moment. But out of those 5 that have signed at the University of Arkansas to play basketball in year 2 with Eric Musselman, that being said, Vance Jackson, Jalen Tate, Devonta Davis, Jalen Williams, and Moses Moody. Of those 5, which 2 do you feel has the greatest chance to break the starting lineup for Coach Eric Musselman? And when you state this, as you viewers call in or you write in, give us the reasons why you feel, and we'll try to read off as many as we possibly can throughout the show in between our breaks. How about that? You about ready to go rock and roll? He's about almost ready to rock and roll. But also, too, want to make a note. Coach Mike Neighbors has signed probably the biggest grad transfer of this offseason in Destiny Slocum. Coach has a really, really good relationship and a past history as she almost became a Washington Husky. Oh, what a the journey it takes, and she's finally gonna make her way to Arkansas. That make it a note that Destiny out of Maryland, when she decided to transfer after her freshman year, she took an official visit here at the University of Arkansas. But after having also had Oregon State, chose to go that route. But she's gonna be a Razorback, and I'm telling you, when you think of Amber Ramirez, Destiny Slocum, Chelsea Dungy, 3 seniors in the backcourt that are good for 15 plus every night. Coach Mike Neighbors has built something I think is going to last for a long, long time to come. The future is only going to get brighter. But I think, when you have a backcourt and you're going to add a senior, 5th-year senior, and Jalen Mason to the mix, Lonnie Eaton, you have to expect a better and more improved in a year. Marquisha Davis, I think Destiny Obor is going to be a really big factor on this basketball team, as I do Aaron Barnum. The sky could be the limit for this basketball team. I think this will be the year that this women's Razorback program really takes to, the next step in the national spotlight. And that's just a credit to Coach Neighbors, Coach Schaefer, Coach Love, Coach Osahor, Coach Amber, Kyree. The culture that they've built in a 3-year period is something I think has really been amazing. And I'm just really excited for the future going forward for this basketball program under Coach Mike Neighbors. I'm telling you, I hear talks that he should get it. He was in talks for a raise. Give him a raise, Hunter. The man's done an exceptional job. I mean, he's the guy for the job. He's all Arkansas. Nobody gets it, as far as Razorback women's in the program, just the history. Like a Mike Neighbors. And now with Coach Musselman coming in, he's won every Razorback fan, that ever had any skepticism. I mean, I'm not saying any did, but at the same time, let's face it, at that time, Eric Musselman was not the sexy hire. But sometimes the greater ones are the ones that you really don't, feel like have made that splash. And being from Nevada, you only knew Nevada, Demetrius, because of the way that Coach Musselman was able to promote that program.
Yeah, I think Coach Musselman was something special. I think because we had such a attachment to Mike Anderson, it was kind of hard for so many people to let him go because there are so many memories and relationships attached to that. But when you look at what Eric Musselman was really able to bring and look at the potential players that are still to sign to Arkansas, you look at it, and not to compare the two coaches, but you just see a different talent level in what they're doing on a recruiting basis. And I think just forecasting, I think Musselman has a bright future here at Arkansas.
Well, I know somebody who hopes that they'll have a bright future, and that's John Cooper. As our next guest, he hopes will pick the University of Arkansas in the next 2 years. With that being said, we're heading up to the Sunshine State, where we're about to catch up with 2022 tight end prospect and 4-star Jack Peterson of Murrieta, California, Vista Murrieta High School. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
How do you feel with how you feel the players are picking up the playbook?
I feel good at where we're at. It's kind of a loaded question because everything is really calm when you're sitting down looking at a computer and, you don't have somebody on the other side of the ball that's trying to knock your head off. So you can be calm in these environments and be able to retain information. That's one thing. But to go on a field and execute seeing signals and your alignment and physically putting your body through that and doing it, that's another. But what we can do right now, I feel really good about where we're at. We had an offensive staff meeting this morning. Feel really good about where we are at, especially from a skill standpoint, which we're a little further along than the offense with with the O-line with Coach Brad Davis. He has used this, which I think is excellent. He's used this as really a slower period to be able to really teach the fine details of O-line play, and that they're going a little bit slower, but I think it's warranted. I think that what he's doing is perfect for what we need, going through all the details of offensive line play and teaching front, teaching defenses, teaching the things. It's allowed us to slow down and teach more defense as well. So feel good about where we're at.
Thanks, Kendall. And my last question for now, for Coach Odom, couple of early enrollees, if you could comment, please. Miles Slusher and Keelan Burrow, if you could comment what you've seen out of those two.
Yeah, both of those guys have, the time that we had them and went into our off-season workouts. I'll start with Miles. Really, he's developed his skill set. He also is mature and he's got a great competitive spirit. His football IQ is really, I'm impressed with that. He's had great coaching there at Broken Arrow High School. You can tell that he's very, advanced in his thoughts and understanding of coverage. He's done a tremendous job in the classroom academically, and that's hard to do. Mid-year guys, a lot of times, their buddies are talking about going to the prom, and they're in the middle of a biology exam and morning conditioning, and both of those guys have done a really good job. But I've been more direct with my.
Welcome back. It's our Monday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, coming to you here on KDSJ 479 from 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. And, we concluded last week on a great group of young men on the Hog Eye segment, and we liked it so much that, we had to set up some more for Coach Sam Pittman and that staff. They talked about how they want to make a big impact in that 2022 class, and boy, did they ever, as Coach John Cooper got on the phone, and he made a call out to Murrieta, California, where he offered our newest guest in the 2022 class, tight end Jack Peterson of Vista Murrieta High School. Jack, welcome to OTH, my man.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing really good, JP. Talk about the recruiting process and what that conversation was like with the new tight ends coach John Cooper there at Arkansas. And the second part of that question, JP, is who are some of the other schools that are really making you a high priority by contacting you so early?
The recruiting process right now, just with this whole coronavirus type deal, is a little bit slower, just because of coaches can't get on the road and whatnot. But the conversation with Coach Cooper was great. We just talked about what type of relationship we'd like to build and how he's going to recruit, how he wanted to, and just be a straight shooter, And some other schools have holding 9 offers right now, so it's pretty good. The recruiting process has gone very well. Spring of my sophomore year, so just looking forward to junior season.
Jack, when you watch film from your sophomore season, when you sit down with your offensive coaches, what are some of the things that you really feel good about heading into your junior season, and what were some of the things that you wrote notes on and felt like you were going to really make a high emphasis to improve for your junior season?
So a few things I feel like I did pretty well this year was definitely with inline blocking. I feel like I could get on the end of a big offensive tackle and just help with the run game a bunch, and that's one thing that I feel like I did very well. And one thing I needed to work on for sure, just the pass game. Using my body to get open and creating more space and being able to be a threat in the pass game and the rush game.
With Arkansas being a school here over the last 5 or 6 years, putting quite a few NFL tight ends. You talk about Jeremy Sprinkle, A.J. Derby, Hunter Henry, and here expected in the coming days, Cheyenne O'Grady, but also, too, with Hunter Henry being the highest paid tight end, having played the position at Arkansas. When you look at that position and the success that it's had, Jake, how much of a factor will that be when you consider Arkansas going forward?
I think the tight end production they have there is great. You know, obviously with their resume of putting tight ends in the NFL, but it's just they obviously do a great job developing them and getting them to the next level.
Now, playing out there in California, you guys play, big time competition. Jake, on the weekends, you have a chance to face defensive ends or anyone on the defense line, sometimes linebackers that will be playing at the next level. At the school that you're at, how do you feel that playing that level of competition will prepare you for when you do make that jump, which is college football?
I feel like it'll prepare me a lot. We play one of the toughest divisions out here in California. It's Division II, right below the Trinity League, and it's really tough. We're playing really good competition every preseason game. So for 5 weeks, we're playing the best of the best, and it's really great out here. Every week, like I said, you're going to be playing some really good teams, some really good players, and some notable opponents. Good guys who have some resumes built to them.
Now, I know you had mentioned pretty earlier in the segment about the corona pandemic, affecting the United States across and athletically, you aren't able to go through spring ball, neither get in gyms and go through your regular workouts. JP, how are you getting your workouts in so that when we get back to some type of normal perspective and can get back on the football field, you'll be in shape? How are you able to accomplish that?
You cut out a little bit. How am I able to get in the weight room and work out?
Yeah. With the pandemic and not being able to get into a facility, what's the workout schedule?
Right now I'm working out 6 times a week just at the house. I'm fortunate enough to have like a squat rack, a bench, some dumbbells on, so I'm able to get it all in. So I'm definitely preparing myself for the season and just staying ready for when we're able to get back into school and get back to the spring football if that time comes. But just want to stay ready and try and take this time and use it to my ability. Be better, become better out of all this, and look at it from a different perspective and not try to make the worst of it. Try and make the best of it. So we're taking this time very seriously. Of course, it's very, very heart-wrenching for the families who are affected by it, but got to look for the best outcome in these hard times.
JP, who are some NFL or collegiate tight ends, my man, that you like to, kind of take parts of what they do and maybe add to your game on the weekends?
Some guys I really look up to them, like the pros, or some guys who've gone through the pros, is definitely Tony Gonzalez. I mean, him playing basketball and him being so large and using his body, going up to get that jump ball, it's just, you got to be able to be that guy when down in the red zone. And Greg Olsen, I mean, he's another great NFL tight end. He's very productive and whatnot. And then there's some other ones who are very, very good as well. Of course, you want to be like them. And, of course, you want to play your game just like they do.
Now, if I come to the stadium there at Vista Marietta High School there in Marietta, California, I get a bag of popcorn, I get a 20-ounce Sprite, and I go to the highest place in the stadium so I can watch number 98, JP, Jack Peterson. When that ball is kicked off, JP, what will I see in number 98 for 4 quarters?
What will you see number 98 doing? Or
yeah, what type of football player will I see for 4 quarters in Jack Peterson?
Oh, you'll see a guy who just loves to get in line and block. Like I said, really well. I feel like I did really well this year. Is just being able to be on the end of the line and being able to help with the run game. You got to be able to do both as a tight end, and you're going to be able to see a lot of custom pancake blocks.
I want everyone to know who just tuned in to our broadcast on Hill Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. We're talking with Jack Peterson of Marietta, California, Vista Marietta High School, 4-star 2022 prospect for John Cooper there at the University of Arkansas. Jack, I want you to finish the statement for me, if you will. When football is over with, when it's all said and done, you've hung up the helmet, the pads, put the shoes up, and you're done with football, what will Jack Peterson be doing with the rest of his life afterwards?
Well, I will be using, of course, the education I have and doing something with real estate or in the business degree. I haven't put too much thought about it, but it's never too early to start thinking about it, and I have a lot of time. But something to do with business, I feel like that would be a great way to go.
Well, last question, because we got to have fun. We're in California. I'm the old school cat in the car. Give me your first 5 songs on your playlist that you're going to play for me, Jack.
The first 5 songs. Definitely number 1, Burnout by Midland. And then we'll throw in a little Darius Rucker and then a little bit of John Party. There's a little bit of a stereotype that California kids don't listen to country, but we do.
Well, my man, let's not make this our last time, Jack. You be sure to continue to build a relationship with us over here on OTH. But for now, my man, have a blessed day, and thanks for taking time out with us.
You too. Thank you for having me. God bless.
That was 4-star tight end in the 2022 class from Marietta, California, Vista Marietta High School, Jack Perdersen. And you know I got to go over here to my Mel Kiper, my D Kiper. What's going on? What'd you see?
Just a big physical kid, great hands, athletic, not scared to put his face mask in there and get in the block. A lot of these tight ends these days only want to be that offensive threat from the receiver position, but a guy that doesn't mind putting his hand in the dirt as well.
Well, I know we don't mind putting our hand in the dirt, but now we got to get on. Let's take a break, and then we'll bring in our special guest as he's going to tell us why he made the decision that I think was best for his family and is well supported. But, this young man had a lot on his plate, had a lot of options. So we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll tell you who it is. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
And it's been so excited about having him in the program. And Keelan is continuing to develop, and a number of the things, the adjustment phase of getting from, going in the high school to a mid-year grad to living on farm, some of those things, it's an adjustment phase for everybody. But I'm so happy that we got both of them, and they're going to be a step ahead when we start back in wherever or whenever they give us the word. They're going to be a step ahead, and I've challenged Miles that you're not, I'm not going to look at you like a freshman, and it doesn't matter, because once they're ours, then we coach them and teach them, and it's our job to get them in position, no matter what their age is, get them in position to understand what we're trying to get done with the play calls, and they're responsible and accountable to our football team to playing their best.
Thanks, man. Passing the mic.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Matt Jones. Matt, you there?
I'm ready.
Yeah, hey, Kyle, I'm just doing a loop on today.
That's our sponsors, and we'll bring you in.
Okay.
Welcome back. It's our Monday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio here on KDSJ 479 Monday through Friday. But real quick, before we get to our surprise guest, I told you the young man had a decision that had to be made, and Arkansas had some involvement as well, as they were a topic on his mind. But real quick, before we get our guest in, our special guest, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. With that being said, Lindsay and Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion, it's located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and the one I always talk about, meet me there or beat me there, KDK's Chicken. It's at 989 South Razorback Road. Go see Keith and Kathy, get a plate of that love, and I added this too. It's not your mama's, but my part was the best chicken and waffles in the South. But Arkansas and Coach Eric Musselman really felt good about the recruitment of the young man I'm about to bring on, and it felt like they had a chance. But in the end, it was a decision had to be made for the family. So we thought we'd let our special guest come on and just kind of give you the reasons why that decision had to be made. And that being said, 2020 guard and Arkansas prospect Kyree Walker. Kyree, welcome to the Hill, my man.
How you doing, man?
Always
Man,
doing
thank
good,
you for having me.
man. Kyree,
Thank you
talk
for
about
having
the
me.
decision. You came out with your social media video this morning. Let the people know what all went into that, and what are you going to be doing up until the NBA draft comes up this time next year.
I decided to forego my eligibility, train, and go with the Committee and BX training team to get ready for the 2021 NBA draft. And There's a lot going into it, a lot of process, a lot of thinking, just what's best for me and how this could be is a life changing thing, a life changing event. I had to think about it. It might not be a college season coming up, so I had to come up with another way to get better and feel like this is the way it could help me out.
When you looked at the colleges that ultimately had you chosen to go to the route of college basketball, what were some of the schools, Kyree, that you would have strongly considered about taking an official visit and possibly play at?
I stopped when I found out my decision. Maybe a couple of days ago. Um, Colleges I was considering would down between Arkansas, Memphis, USC, West Kentucky, Michigan. But the three that I was mostly stuck on in my mind, I would go Arkansas, Memphis, and most likely USC.
When you talk about Arkansas, I know you and Coach Musselman have had a long relationship. It goes back to when Eric was at Nevada. Talk about that relationship and what was that conversation like? Once you and the family came to the decision, how was it? What was that conversation like when you informed Coach Muss of your decision?
Coach Musselman, man, he's been a great, great recruit, and he honestly, he was honest with me. What I was able to do, what he saw in me. A lot of coaches just talk, tell you what you want to hear. But I honestly believe Coach Musselman gave me an opportunity to honestly. I think if I had to choose a college today, most likely we'll go to Arkansas. That or Memphis. Both of you guys, Memphis and Arkansas had like NBA coaches, really.
Right.
Penny. Then I had Penny. Then I had Coach Musselman. Man, I thank Coach Musselman for taking this time to recruit me throughout the years. He didn't really have to.
When you think about this, Kyree, what you had to go through, unfortunately, we have, I'm just going to say idiots on social media that get online and they, go after kids. And you handled that so maturely, Kyree. I mean, what would be the message for young men that maybe, coming behind you will have this type of decision that they're going to have to make? What will be some of the experiences that you'd like to share with those potential prospects?
Man, college, if you don't choose college, man, it's not wrong. It's not a wrong idea. A bad idea. I keep trying to tell people you create your own wave. You create you create the wave you want to be on. You create your destiny for real. I tell myself every day, I create my destiny. I create what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna do it the way I feel like it's the best. I know a lot of Arkansas fans was bashing me today, was telling me what's bad upon me. I take it as like, I pray every day because those are fans that was wanting me, and I feel like they turned their back on me and just felt like they didn't want me because I made a decision to go there, and they was like, oh, we didn't want you anyway. It was a lot of that, and I felt kind of like betrayed in a way because y'all wanted me, and it kind of hurt my feelings because like if I knew that how y'all was gonna be before that, then I wouldn't have probably been interested because I know grown men wishing bad upon me, wish I never make it, wish I never step on a NBA court. I take it as I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna make it a wallpaper, and every day when I wake up to work out to get better, I'm gonna look at it and try from that.
Well, my man, everything I've noticed, and you and I have built this relationship over the last year. And Kyree, I want to tell you congratulations, my man. You reserve the right to be selfish for that family of yours by what you guys go through. And good luck, my man. You continue to eat. All right, K-Dub?
Yes, sir. I know. I want to say thank you, Arkansas fans, for the love and support y'all gave me throughout the years, the last 2 years, the last 3 years, honestly, when Mustang actually got just signed. I want to thank you guys so much because guys, you guys honestly show a lot of love to me, and I'm sorry I let you guys down in the way. Um, I apologize, man. I know, I just want to do what's best for me, and I hope a lot of them understand that it's not always about them. I didn't, I didn't do the decision to make other people happy, so
Right.
I was prepared for all the hit that I got.
Well,
I stayed up all night to think like what they gonna say, they gonna do this and that, and I was prepared for it because I knew the results when I was gonna make the decision.
right,
You
right.
know, and I thank you guys to Arkansas for the the fans that y'all have, and I hope you have a great season if basketball ever resumes for college, and I just thank you guys.
Well, Kyrie, I thank you for taking time out, man. Good luck. You know I'm gonna keep in touch, and you do the same with me as well, my man.
Yes, sir.
All right, God bless you.
Thank you.
That was 2020 combo guard Kyree Walker was a high priority for Coach Musselman, and we heard it, Demetrius. Had he signed, to go to college basketball at this moment, as of today, Arkansas would have gotten a very good basketball player. And I think that's a big time tribute to Eric Musselman and that entire staff for the job and the way that they're able to recruit these high priority young men.
Yeah, I think it's a big testament to Eric Musselman. I would even take Kyree talking about him as a cosign. Just for future recruits to know that what you're getting from a coach that's recruiting you. He came on air and spoke highly of everybody, and I respect the kid because it's hard for a 18-year-old or a 19-year-old to come fresh out of high school, making a decision that's going to really determine the rest of his life. So I commend him for having the integrity to go about it and make the move that he felt was best for him, because a lot of kids would have voted and just did what everybody else wanted, but he was smart enough to do and make a decision that he can live with, because it's going to be a time where there's life beyond sports, and then when you're ready to put that ball down, you got to be okay with all the decisions you made.
Well, we got a young man that's going to have a lot of decisions to be made here within the next 2 years. And he's out of Morrilton High School in our home state of Arkansas, repping the ARK. And we're about to have him. New Arkansas 2022 combo forward offer, Joseph Pinion. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a moment. I know. KDK's Chicken at 989 South Razorback Road. Get on down there and see Keith and Kathy. Get a plate of that loving. Like they say on their building, it's not your mama's. The best chicken and waffles in the South. They even got chicken wings, and they got these things called loaded fries. I think you might want to get on down there. Meet me down there or see me down there. KDK's Chicken at 989 Razorback Road. Welcome back. It's our Monday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, coming to you here from KDSJ 94.79 from 1 to 2 p.m., man. Arkansas head basketball coach Eric Musselman talked briefly in the press in his teleconference earlier last week about the 20 class, and then there was a class that everybody's been talking about that's really top priority for the University of Arkansas and that staff, and that being the 2022 class. So we thought we'd dip into the state of Arkansas and find one of the guys that just had an offer as part of that very impressive 22 class in Morrilton High School's 2022 combo guard forward and the big timer, Joseph Pinion. JP, welcome to the
What's
Hill,
up, man?
What's going on?
Nothing, man. What's up?
Oh, you know me, man. Recruiting is up with you. I mean, it seems like, JP, each and every time. First it was Kansas, then Arkansas, and then more schools start to come in. Joseph, talk about how recruiting's going and how are you handling this? Because it's going to come even greater as the season goes on next year and beyond.
Man, the recruiting's going great. I've had a lot of schools interested ever since I got that Kansas offer, and I just recently, picked up the Arkansas offer. And I just feel like I gotta just stay humble and keep working so that it doesn't ever get to my head, and I can just keep competing like I was before I got all the offers. Just keep going hard.
I'm a guy, Joseph, that I have a relationship with you on the basketball court as I've called several of your games years on back, even in your younger days. What have you always hung your hat on, Joe, to get you to this point? Because, as an official, you see it, but as a player, what have you always prided yourself on that you say, this is who I am?
I just say I play really hard, all the time, and I can shoot it really well. And that's just always hard for the defense to handle.
What do you want to work on heading into when you look back at your sophomore year and you went over film? What did you feel good about it now heading into your junior year? What are some of those notes that you say, JP, this is what you have to work on getting ready for year 2 of high school basketball?
I just feel like I did pretty good offensively, but I feel like I got to get better on the defensive end and just really start locking guys up and holding them to scoreless games and not letting them score at all. That's what I got to get to my career.
JP, when you look at the state of Arkansas, Coach Eric Musselman, we all knew the 20 class, Moses, Devontae, KK, and Jalen were going to be really big. I mean, as they were high priorities for Eric. He keeps them in state. When you look at stuff like that, and then you get an offer, what was that conversation like with Coach Musselman? And, how, will that be a factor going forward with how well he was able to keep the state's best at home?
Yes, that will be a factor because he was really able to keep those top-notch guys that had high major offers from really good colleges. He was able to keep them here and just not let them go anywhere. So that shows how good of a recruiter he really is.
What's the training like for you? I know you have we have a mutual friend that's a trainer for you. Talk about John Parker and how important it's been since you started working out with that young man.
And he's a great trainer. He's changed my game so much. He just keeps pushing me all the time to work hard and be the best I can be. And he really believes in me, so that helps a lot with my confidence. And he's really helped me get my name out there ever since I started training with him. And he's just been a blessing.
Who are some NBA or collegiate players that you watch that play the position that you play, Joseph, that you like to watch?
Tyler Hero was really big for me last year 2 years ago whenever he played in high school. I really tried to model my game after him.
Now, when I come to Morrilton High School, and most of the time I get a chance to see you in team camps. Unfortunately, that might not happen this season. But for those that haven't had a chance, Joe, to watch you play, describe the type of player that if you're in the gym and Morrilton is playing, what type of player will they see in Joseph Pinion, number one?
I believe they'll see a person that plays really hard on both ends of the floor. Someone who can shoot and pretty athletic, who just I like to say I put on a show for the fans.
I'd have to agree with that. Now, we're down in Morrilton. I'm OG, Joseph. I mean, I need to know the new vibe. We in your car. JP, what's the first 5 songs on the playlist that we're listening to?
Oh, gosh. I don't really listen to music like that, but I feel like they just like to play YoungBoy. They like to play some. Who else? They like to play The Baby. They just go crazy with all the rap songs.
Yeah, you aren't much of a music guy. I can tell when I ref you do. You aren't that. But last question before we let you go, Joseph. And once again, I want everybody to know we're talking with Joseph Pinion, big time combo forward. Actually, just call him a basketball player out of Morrilton High School. Was recently offered by Eric Musselman, head basketball coach at the University of Arkansas. JP has multiple offers at his disposal. But last question, and I want you to finish this for me. When basketball is done with, when you've put up the shoes and you're done with basketball, Joseph Pinion will be doing what with his life after basketball?
I want to do something with like either math. I want to be like an accountant or something. I'm really good with math, so I just want to have fun doing something I enjoy.
I know you good with math. All those numbers you put up on a nightly basis, my man. I mean, I've been on the court with you, but hey, Joseph, hey, let's keep this conversation going, man. Our show is your show, our line is your line, and let's continue to keep updates as we move throughout this process.
Yes, sir.
All right, JP. Thanks for taking time out on the hill, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was Joseph Pinion of Morrilton High School, 2022 combo forward. I call him a basketball player. I mean, this guy, I've had a chance to ref him. Like I said, it goes back 5th, 6th grade, Demetrius, and his versatility is something that jumps out to me. What was it that jumped out on tape to you?
Really just his ability to get his shot off. It's pretty stoked. I would see him go down in transitions where he would, have an easy layup, but he would step back and still take that three. So that to me is a confident shooter, a guy that really believes in his ability and knows what he can and cannot do on that basketball court.
Absolutely, and might want to make a note that we will have a teleconference with head basketball coach Eric Musselman today at 4 p.m. For those that want to hear, it's teleconference in its entirety. You can catch it as we will be streaming live here on our Facebook and YouTube live streams. On the Hill Sports Talk LLC, YouTube, and On the Hill Sports Talk will be our Facebook Live at 4 p.m. If you'd like to hear that live. Eric Musselman teleconference. We'll have it for you, but real quick, want to give a shout out to our guests for taking time out to be on OTH with us on this Monday segment. That being said, Jack Peterson of Marietta, California, Vista Marietta High School, the 2022 tight end prospect, had a lot to say about the University of Arkansas, and we'll keep up with JP as we go on throughout this process. And then our special guest, Kyree Walker, he came on and made a big decision, but it's all about the family, and I get it, and fans should really support that. I mean, it was and I agree, being 18, and Demetrius said it best, it's a really, really big decision, and you're not going to make everybody happy, but our congratulations and prayers are with the Walker family, and hopes that Kyree goes on and has a very successful career at the next level, or whatever division of professional basketball that this young man plays. May it be to the best of his ability. And then lastly, want to thank our in-state prospect and new offer from Coach Eric Musselman and the Arkansas men's basketball program out of Morrilton High School, Joseph Pinion. JP's got a big future, and we're going to continue to follow this young man as that 22 class. It's really special, and I know Coach Musselman and that staff hope to make JP be a part of that class. Also, too, we want to give a shout-out to our sponsors, Lindsay & Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also, too, in Rogers. Locomotion, located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and lastly, KDK's Chicken. It's at 989 South Razorback Road. Meet me there or beat me there. Go down and see Keith and Kathy. Get a plate of that love, and like they say on the building, it's not your mama's, but I at this part. Best chicken and waffles in the South. For my producer, Demetrius Johnson, and myself, and to all our viewers, continued support. Thank you, guys. We love bringing it to you each and every day. And we got a whole bunch more. The Hall guys don't stop watching. We just gassing up, getting new tires, probably shine the bus. And we'll be back on the road tomorrow, bringing you much, much more. Until then, it's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You guys have a blessed one, and let's get it.